Hey guys, welcome to Wrestling Days and welcome to this very different video. I wanted to make this video because we've been talking a lot about the Firefly Funhouse. It's one of my favourite things on WWE right now. We've been doing a lot of theory videos, trying to really understand what's happening in each episode. And I think my favourite theory, kind of what I believe is happening right now, is that it's all in Bray's head. The reason that we say that is because there were some old deleted tweets, and I'm not going to go through it all, but it kind of really makes sense that Bray Wyatt is struggling with his inner darkness, and that's what the Funhouse is. Now, there's a few people that have reached out to me and said they really struggle with that because why and how would we see inside Bray Wyatt's mind? How can we see what's going on inside his head? And it's a good point. It's a fair point. It's a fair comment. But wrestling does have a history of embracing the paranormal, of embracing the strange. So I thought it might be fun to just look at 5 examples of when wrestling has done that. So let's start, shall we, with Undertaker. It seems like a good place to start. So in 2006, I believe it was, at the Royal Rumble, Kurt Angle would retain his World Heavyweight Championship. Undertaker would emerge, the gongs would sound. He actually came out in some kind of carriage with horses, but that's not the weird part. The weird part was that he would signal that he wanted Kurt Angle's championship. He would then point up to the heavens, and these bolts of lightning would actually shoot out of the hands of the Undertaker. They went up to the heavens, and then they came crashing down onto the ring. It wasn't going to end there for Kurt Angle. The ring would actually break, and a very concerned looking Kurt Angle, which is totally understandable, would be left shocked and shaken. So that is just one example of when The Undertaker has demonstrated some of his more supernatural powers. Moving on, we've got this moment from 1992. The Ultimate Warrior was in a feud with Papa Shango. Papa Shango was using voodoo and black magic and cursed the Ultimate Warrior. Warrior would be seen doubled over in pain. But that wasn't the weird part. It was during an interview with Mean Gene that black goo would start dripping down the face of the Ultimate Warrior. A very concerned Warrior would walk away, kind of looking at his hands, looking at this black goo. And that was as a result of this curse, this voodoo that Papa Shango was using. Again, that would split people. Some people in the wrestling community liked the idea that WWE were doing something a little bit different, whereas some people felt that it was going a little bit too far. Next up, we've got hypnotism. Now, this isn't in WWE. This is CZW, which I believe is Combat Zone Wrestling. 2011, we saw Osirian Portal take on the Runaways, and we saw the most illegal move in wrestling history. That's what the commentator said. The most illegal move. What is that move? Hypnosis. Hypnosis was that move. Osirian Portal actually used hypnosis to hypnotise their opponents and get the victory. Now, before they would actually pin them, get the victory, they had them dancing. They also stared at the entrance ramp, did their little hypnosis dance, and we would actually get the locker room coming down, kind of like zombified. One guy was so hypnotised, he started taking his clothes off on the outside of the ring. It's madness. I can tell you a lot of wrestling fans weren't into it. The internet really responded, though. This clip going viral. You'll have to check it out yourself if you haven't seen it. I think it's fun. I don't know if there's a place in wrestling for this, but it happened, and It is in wrestling history now, so check the clip out in the description. But that brings me to the final two clips that I wanted to talk about. And I like these two probably the most because they are maybe a little bit more connected to the Firefly Funhouse in the sense of us seeing things we wouldn't normally see. So let's start, shall we, with Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior. This was 1998 WCW. Hulk Hogan chased the Warrior into a locker room. And when he went in there, Warrior was nowhere to be seen. But the Ultimate Warrior would appear in the mirror. You could see the reflection of the Ultimate Warrior, but you couldn't see the Warrior in the room. And what was amazing here was that Hulk Hogan could see the reflection in the mirror. We, as an audience, could see the reflection. But Eric Bischoff, who was standing right next to Hulk Hogan, couldn't see the reflection. I think what they were trying to do, they were trying to make out that the Ultimate Warrior was appearing to Hulk Hogan as like a vision. Now, obviously, Hulk Hogan could see this vision. Hulk Hogan was being tormented, if you will, by the Warrior. Obviously, they wanted us, the fans, to be able to see this as well so that we knew what was going on. And then Eric Bischoff obviously couldn't because he wasn't being tormented by the Warrior at that time. But it didn't really come across that way because it just looked more like Eric Bischoff was the weird one because we could quite clearly see Ultimate Warrior in the mirror. So why couldn't Eric Bischoff? So it kind of backfired a little bit. But again, I like the fact they were trying something different, and it's just another example of a paranormal moment from the history of wrestling. But that brings me to my favourite moment on this list, and that is from 2010, Monday Night Raw. Cheech and Chong would actually be guest hosts. Chong had eaten a bowl of Lucky Charms and was suffering a sugar rush, and as a result was starting to hallucinate, but we could actually see his hallucination. So the screen was a little bit wavy, and you could see that Chong was sat stroking the hair of Eve. So he was sat stroking the hair of Eve. That's when Cheech came into the room and asked him why was he stroking the hair of William Regal. The screen stopped being wavy, and we could see that he was actually sat next to a disgusted looking William Regal, who got up and left the room. So just a very fun little clip, little moment where we actually saw Chong's hallucination. We could see exactly what was going on in his mind. So as we said, you know, there is a history in WWE of moments like that, and in wrestling of moments like that. I can't wait to see what the secrets of the Firefly Funhouse actually are. We've put a lot of theories out there. It could be that it's just Bray Wyatt using this as a way to recruit people for his new cult. It could be the Firefly Funhouse was just a recruitment video. That's a theory that I've seen out there. For now, because of the old tweets, I'm going to stick with the theory that it's all going on inside his mind. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this slightly different video, let me know as well, because we could do more videos similar to this in the future if people enjoy it. So give the video a like, hit the subscribe if you haven't already, and hopefully I'll see you again next time. Bye for now.